thank you again for all coming out. But you know what really is important here is having my wife talk about our journey. This is nothing new to us. We've been involved in this for God at least a decade and maybe a little bit more than that with the campaigning and the networking. But what is meaningful for us and the choice that we've made in our life, it makes sense. What is alarming is that oftentimes politicians and oftentimes there are people who continue to push a political interest by disparaging other communities and targeting certain individuals. I think that is wrong. I think that's not transparent. And if you are perpetuating that, you are not fit for public office. And that brings me to the reason why this is important. I think what is important is for the future of Sacramento County, not just Elk Grove, but for all cities, for all cities that are in the boundaries of Sacramento County, and for all residents. And that's the reason why Koa and I and our entire family has come upon this decision. This decision, it took us a long time to get here after an unfair treatment in the last election. It caused us to reflect whether we want to continue public service. But oftentimes, I always say, look, public service is not for me as a person. It is for the community. It's what I foresee what is beneficial for the community and what I foresee that I can contribute to help the community, to help Sacramento County so that we can move the community in a better direction. That being the case, we derived at this without, with a long time and deliberating as to why we want to do this. It is important for each and every one of us, for each and every one resident who lives in Sacramento County. It is important to make sure that there's transparency, there's honesty, and there's credibility with those in public office. And if there isn't, then make sure that you hold them accountable. And that's something that's real critical for me and what we believe in. Most of you guys have seen this from the get-go, and I really appreciate the fact that you guys are here with me. The road is going to be difficult. In all campaigns, it's going to take time. It's going to take a lot of hard work from all of you, and I'm confident that all of you are here and will continue to support me along those lines. Real simple, today is just a brief announcement so that every one of you know that you can continue to spread the word about my candidacy and the work that we're about to embark, as well as making sure that everyone in the community knows that this is not going to be just us, but it's going to be everyone. In the upcoming months, you will hear about events in which, field events in which I will be having, and I would encourage the constituents in Sacramento County District 5 to come out and have a conversation with me. Some of the real simple priorities that I have put forth is dealing with the homelessness issue. And in order to deal with this, we have to look at how to deal with poverty in general. And it's not just homelessness, it's making sure that we have the resources in place so that we can actually address the homelessness crisis. This is a crisis that we see all over Sacramento County. In all the nooks and crannies, we have people who are screaming for help. It is our opportunity, it is incumbent upon those in public office to not just say what is trending, but to make sure that they act and put policy forward that will be able to address the housing crisis, the job market, to be able to address the mental health issues that are associated with these individuals. What is the other issue that is really important for me and for all of Sacramento County is public safety. We are beginning to see over and over and over again selective prosecution. We're beginning to see over and over again that certain crimes by certain individuals do not warrant prosecution. These are things that are unexcusable for me. I think it's incumbent for local boards, municipalities, to make sure that public safety is top priority, making sure that law enforcement has the resources to be able to address the issues in their jurisdiction appropriately. And if there are bad apples, make sure you deal with them appropriately by firing them. And through my demonstrated history as the mayor of the city of Elk Grove. We have done that, and I'm real proud to say that this is something that I continue to believe in and continue to push forward. Public safety is key. There's no doubt about that. But more critically for the county is our jobs. Look, when we look at it, we have to be willing to embrace and develop economically. We have to make sure that we have the businesses that we're welcoming in so that we can move to the next direction. We can make sure that we have the jobs and we have the workforce that's ready for it. These are broad strokes, but what is equally important is that college may not be for everyone. That is a fact. But we have to keep our minds open that make sure that we also have an alternative for them, trades. We have to make sure that we have job training for these individuals. I work in juvenile hall, and I see young people come in all the time. And more, I'm seeing young people that says, you know what, Mr. Lee, maybe college isn't for me, but I am interested in learning how to build a house. That's exactly it. We take this and we make sure that there's something for everyone. We make sure that we develop the workforce. We make sure that we have opportunities so that young people can actually go into the trades. College isn't for everyone, but if you're halfway in the trades and you become a journeyman, maybe you might decide to go to college. Well, guess what? You've already earned some credits. You can actually line up for college. These are things that are important along the lines of education. Education not in the form of just college, but trade school, providing for all kids, for all people who may want to switch their field. This is about economic development and developing jobs in the future. What we have to keep in mind in Sacramento County is be inclusive. Being inclusive to make sure that everyone is at the table. And you've heard of this term so many oftentimes. Look, you know what? Stop saying it and making sure that happens. You know, just because somebody's critical of you, you don't eliminate them and disparage them and gaslight them. Make sure that they are at the table and make sure you have that conversation with them. That being the case, I encourage all of you to log on Facebook and make sure that you share what Jim had said earlier about the live broadcast. And then, you know, I'm going to turn it over back to Kua, and she has some details in what she wants to share with all of you.
Thank you. Okay, so what to do as you go forth and as you support us on this trail, right? As I always tell people, the wonderful thing about campaigns is that there's an end date, right? Well, with this particular race, we have the June primary, right at the top two. And then in November, election day, and then that's it, okay? So we will need your help, of course. And as you have seen and witnessed with your own eyes, and it's unbelievable at times, especially with social media, right? So what has happened, Steve and I, as you may have heard, already did a press conference. We already addressed it. That is done. And you will find people that will still bring it up. Well, what about this? What about that? So I will say that, as always, now that things have settled from 2020, in light of new information, you can change your mind, okay? And if you are not sure what's going on, because what do they say? Lies travel faster than the truth, right? It's whatever you get the clicks. So I don't know other news media, but I know who are constant always is Elk Grove Citizen, Elk Grove News Net, and Elk Grove News, and I forget the other part, but the three that are constant. You'll notice that mainstream media, as they call it, is not here because for whatever reason, okay? But the truth is that we are here, and we're here to serve. It's always about the people. It's always been about the people. And when you see the politicians don't put the people forward, you already see their agenda. It's coming out. And I see at the table, I'm so tired of that phrase. If you don't mean it, don't say it. It includes everyone. Okay, even if the people that didn't support you, when you are elected, you are their whatever. City council member, mayor, represent everyone. Stop gaslighting them for whatever reason. Maybe it's your own ignorance, I don't know. But take the time to learn about other communities. And always, and this is one thing that Steve has done, and that we have done continuously, repetitively. When we campaign, it's so easy to get into the mud, right? But you want to lead with kindness, right? Lean into it. And don't say you want to be kind, you want to lead with integrity, but when what you do is completely different than what you say, then just stop. Okay, just stop. And please stop perpetuating ignorance about other communities that you have no idea. Because the more you say it, the clearer your ignorance is. And those who know. Okay? So with that, as you go into social media, those of you who are here, those of you who are watching from home who can make it, when you share pictures, you see anything, please hashtag, or as us older folks, right? Pound sign. Steve Lee for County Supervisor, Steve Lee, Supervisor Steve Lee, right? Speak it into being. County Supervisor Steve Lee. So with that, and also, if you live in District 5, right? So Elk Grove is considered District 5. If you're not sure, come see me. I have a map, and we would like you to sign our petition for signatures that we're collecting to qualify for Steve to run, because that's part of the process. And I hope that, I'm pretty sure that everybody who's here supports him. So again, if you live in District 5, come see me. If you're not sure, again, I have a map and we can look it up as well. And then also part 2 of that is if you live in District 5 and you know you have neighbors that are willing to support Steve, we have also petitions or the nomination papers where you get additional signatures, because we are starting from, I guess, scratching away, right? New everything. We have a brand new canvas, and so we have no funding at the moment. You can also donate, right? Our link will be up either today or tomorrow. You can also help us by collecting signatures. You'll come see me or the lovely lady Lisa over here, and she and I will give you petition papers in which you will go out. If you know neighbors who will support Steve, get them to sign it, and they have to write down their residential address. And the neat thing about running for county supervisor, which I did not even know, which I learned, right? You learn new things every time, every different campaign, is that, as I was saying, we are starting from scratch, is that for every signature that we get credit, can I say that? For 50 cents reduction off the filing fee, okay? So, if you could help us with that, that would be great, and of course, we appreciate it. So, those are things. Did I cover everything? Yeah. Oh, and then also, at the very end, like we always do, if all of you can get behind the speaker, okay, and make sure you face that way, and then we're going to get a group picture, okay? So